All right, and we're live. Do a quick sound checkola here. Make sure everything's all right. All right. All right, sounds good. I'm sure you guys will let me know if it's too loud. You sure have no problem letting me know it's too low. That's for sure. So hello all and welcome to Desire the Realist Philosopher. And this is the Realist Philosopher Show. So how y'all doing today? Hope you're all doing good, fine, and well. I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. Oh, yeah. Well, considering the fact that I did a live stream this morning into the early afternoon, you would think YouTube would give me some points. Some playing the algo, right? But no, nobody's here. I guess the majority of my audience has been built around LOLcow content. So, yeah. Realist, you're going to cover the new Nikki video I sent you? Are you talking about the one where she, isn't that an old video though? The one where she does the pot? It's like about weed or something? I might. I'll have to open it up here. I'm going to be honest, I haven't had any time to do like show prep. You probably weren't there, but I did a live stream this morning for over 5 hours. Covering the non-debate between Andrew and his, opponent, the state versus Candace Owens. So, yeah, the time I normally would have spent prepping for the show, I spent doing a live stream. All right, let me see. Are you talking about a PHAT fat opinion? Is that the one? All right, I'll open that up. That's something I can do. Oh, it's long. 37 minutes. Oh, God. Let's see what I can do. I'll try to keep the... like, if I do it, I'll keep the commentary to an absolute minimum. So, I guess I could. Yeah, okay, give me a sec here. What the? Sorry, without my glasses, I'm very limited in regards to what I can. Jesus. All right. Like type. There we go. All right. Okay. Yeah. Jesus. One sec here. Sorry. Yeah, it's like amazing I can do an evening show at all. I might change the Friday show to 9 because I really don't have enough time. Like work on Fridays sometimes is like I could make more money if I had another hour. So yeah, I might start it at midnight New York City time instead. But yeah, let me paste this address into my show notes. Yeah. There we go. And save. All right. Yeah, we can cover that after I cover the Andrew stuff. I see we have some folks here. Can't read any of these messages without my glasses. Let me pop out the chat. So how's everybody doing tonight? Not very many chatters in the room, but okay. Vespasian Judah, I was about to watch Four Brothers after... what? Oh, good Lord. Colonel Quail says hi. Hey, Colonel, how you doing? Like your avatar? I always like cat avatars. Seen some pretty good ones lately. But I wanted to start out. I don't know how many of you, if any, caught my my morning live stream. It's like I got up, I started doing my usual editing and clipping to post my 2 videos. And then as I was doing that, and then editing a third, I figured I'd post 3 today. I saw that the Andrew Wilson and Candace Owens debate was going to happen. I said to myself, do I really want to cover this? I mean, that could be like 5-6 hours, man. And then it starts, and I was like, okay. I finished up editing, but I didn't finish up, like, posting the video. And so I said, okay, sure. And they already got through their opening statements, more or less. So I started right after they finished their opening statements, and it was like 5 hours, man. Over 5 hours. I think I'm going to edit it tomorrow, remove any of the breaks, ad breaks, and post it as a standalone video on my channel. Okay. That's a little too much information, Spacey and Judah. We don't need to know. But, so the debate was very interesting in that it really wasn't a debate. It turns out that Candace had to agree to a lot of stipulations that... Actually, first I should do a... So today, this morning, I did like an over 5-hour live stream. I would suggest you watch it. I'm an actual philosopher and debater, unlike the fake, phony fraud that is Andrew Wilson, who just plays himself up and uses neuro-linguistic programming to convince people that he is a real debater. And he's not. He's a joke. It was pathetic. I was really, really disappointed. Unfortunately, he kind of came out ahead in terms of the debating aspect, not the honesty aspect, of course, because this guy's a big giant liar, right? Yeah. I'm a master mason, master debater, master mason. He's a master of a lot of things. Apparently, master sniper. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, and he supposedly was in the army, even though, no. But anyway, the debate itself was lackluster, tiresome for most people. I enjoyed it because it was an intellectual exercise to keep up with all the logical fallacies on Andrew's part, and you'll find tons of them. But the debate started with him, harping on the preliminary hearing that just happened. And Candace was essentially saying that, hey, this hearing was nothing more than a bunch of hearsay. Even Andrew admitted the vast majority of it was hearsay. In that state where the trial was happening, is it Utah or something? I don't remember specifically. I think it was it? I'm not actually entirely sure. I haven't really followed this case. I remember some things about it. But in the state it's happening in, there's like a rule, like you're allowed to use hearsay in preliminary hearings, which I think is nuts. I think that where you're showing the evidence to prove that you have enough to go to trial, I think you should only be able to use evidence that would be admissible at a trial, not evidence that wouldn't be admissible at a trial, if that makes sense. And she took umbrage with that, and I think, well, she should. Andrew, fired back. Hey, I believe 75% that Tyler Robinson was the shooter. And Candace is like, I believe 0. And then it went on, round and around and around, her basically making the very accurate observation that the exact same inferences that Andrew was taking from the evidence presented, his methodology and inference that he was deriving was no different from hers. The inferences themselves were different, but the way he went about it was no different. And there was no evidence presented that was like a slam dunk. Oh, it's a grainy picture. Oh, it's out of focus. Maybe coulda, shoulda, woulda, might be him. Oh, officer, why do you think that picture is him? Why did you think that's him? Well, look, the shoes are the same. I mean, Converse, I thought the evidence was quite flimsy and not in any way, shape, or form definitive. Apparently, Andrew doesn't think it's definitive either. 75%, sure. But anyway, there were a few key interesting things that happened. Number one, Andrew said that all women are hard R's. It's like, what? All women are R, ... tar, ... They're all, really? And number two was he didn't know any of the charges. It was like, when it got to talking about what Tyler Robinson was actually charged with, he didn't know what. He's like, oh, unaliving? And she's like, no, he's not charged with that. Oh, it's aggravated unaliving. Oh, aggravated unaliving, same thing. Oh, just semantics, tomato. This is a guy that says that semantics is very, very important in a debate, but now it's irrelevant. Meanwhile, no, there's actually quite a big difference. It's more than just a semantical one, and semantics are important anyway. But no, aggravated murder and murder are not the same thing. He couldn't give any charges. There were 7. He couldn't name one, which to me proves that this guy doesn't care about this case at all. He's done no investigating. He's really not well educated on this case. He came on to the podcast with a series of talking points that he was obviously given. And he even admitted, I've had this issue. He said, yeah, sure, TPUSA helped us out. We contacted TPUSA, and they gave us a bunch of ammo against you, but we're not working for them. Aha. So TPUSA gave you lots and lots and lots of talking points. Probably every talking point he had was from TPUSA because he didn't know anything about the case. But you're not working for them. As if that distinction makes a difference. That's a distinction without a difference, honestly. Not that I believe. By the way, he never denied it. He just said, prove it. Right? Prove it. That's actually, yeah, he never actually said we're not working for them. What he actually said was, prove it. Just making it up. Making it up. Why is it made up? From Candace? Because you have no evidence. So it's being made up. He never actually denied it, actually. And then he's got all these talking points. It's like, wait a second. These things are all gotchas. He's got all these what he thinks are gotchas. They're not really gotchas. And it wasn't really a debate. It was just like a trial. So what I said at the beginning, there were a bunch of points she had to agree to. Number one, she couldn't ask him questions for the most part. Like very few, like she couldn't ask him questions about like what he thought or what he believed or anything about how he had reached conclusions. Like she could question him about questions that he had asked her, or like ask questions like, don't you think this is unusual? Don't you think that is unusual? Points that he himself had already brought up. But it became very obvious during this non-debate, because the debate would imply that they are both allowed to ask each other questions, quid pro quo, back and forth, and it just wasn't that way. It's obvious that it was agreed upon that only he was allowed to ask her any substantive questions when it came to a point where she actually tried to ask him a substantive question. He's like, no, let's just stick to what we agreed to. No, you can't ask me a question. Whoa! You're such a master debater that you cannot answer questions from her. Wow. Really? And you put that in writing, in the contract. Wow, that's great, pal. Wow. But you're such a brilliant genius, right? I mean, you should be able to handle questions, right, buddy? You should be able to answer questions from this little lady, right? Because all women are tard, right? So, what do you have to worry about? No. I need to protect myself. She can't ask me questions of substance. She can only ask me questions to further define my questions and explore those questions. But questions of her own that are not connected to my questions, unallowed! Not allowed! What? What's with all these stipulations? That's not a debate. It was just a grilling, and one-sided at that. So it wasn't a debate, first of all. And the biggest problem with this debate, and the reason that Andrew Wilson came out with an edge in the end, but only in regards to tactics, is because she allowed him to falsely frame the entire conversation, the entire interrogation. It was really just an interrogation, couched as a debate. She allowed him to control the narrative from the beginning by labeling opinions as claims. So from the very start, he kept up with the neurolinguistics of relabeling, reclassifying words, and defining opinions, if you make enough of them, if you express an opinion enough as a claim. And you know what happened? She didn't challenge it. And he must have said 100 times or more during this debate that she's making claims. What's the difference between a claim and an opinion? Well, opinion is just opinion. Doesn't need evidence, doesn't require any kind of evidence. Meanwhile, if you're making and this is what he did. He replaced opinion with positive claim, like 100 times. But you've made this claim. And the reason he did this was so that he could then brand her as dishonest, that she was doing something wrong, that she was doing something evil, that she was saying factually that this is the case, that is the case, and try to represent her as irresponsible by doing this. And then, in so doing, undermine her, right? And he did this, I mean, it got to be 100 times or more. I had to point it out so many times to stop. It's not a claim. She's giving opinions. She's been very clear. When you use the word my guess, and you're very clear that it's an opinion, that's not a claim. She's giving an opinion. And then he went on to lie a lot and say there's no evidence to support any of her opinions when there was plenty. He focused and harped very much on a receipt that showed that Tyler Robinson was at like a steakhouse 3.5 hours from the shooting, that he drove 3.5 hours to go to this steakhouse, then drove 3.5 hours back to get the gun, taking 7 hours to go get a steak when he could have used that time to retrieve the gun. It was like so odd. And he said, there's no evidence. That's not evidence. Then he says that's bad evidence. It's not evidence. There's no evidence. Then it's bad evidence. And no evidence again. And it was like, dude, make up your freaking mind here. And this guy was all over the place. And he wouldn't stop doing the false framing to change the narrative in people's minds, to try and front load into their smooth brains that opinions are claims. And, oh, no, she hasn't given opinions. She's given claims. And if you don't know what the difference is between a fact and saying something's a fact and an opinion and being very clear it's not you saying this is a fact, it's just your opinion. If you don't know the difference between a claim and an opinion, you're really dumb. And Andrew didn't know the difference, it seems. He obviously did. It was quite on purpose. And it was also very obvious that he had lots of talking points, but no integral knowledge of the case. Like, he hasn't spent hours and hours studying it. Right? No way. And he didn't even know what the guy was charged with. It's like, dude. And then, I love this. Then he was like, then he implied, he literally came out and said, I think you cheated. Right? He was like, well, I saw you were on your phone earlier. Did you perhaps, right before you answered my question about whether or not you knew the 7 charges, did you perhaps get help? Did you perhaps get a text message from your helpers here telling you what the 7 charges were? So this guy is a total goofball. I mean, Andrew is one of the biggest AstroTurf fakes out there, okay? The guy mostly debates 18-year-old goofball broads that are OFs on OF, and he's just used to debating dumb people. And, I mean, you want perfect example, Destiny is a dummy. The people that he debates are dumb. That's why he would never talk to me. He's a big dummy. And in my opinion, this guy, he's like, she asked him, can you name 1 charge? And he was like, I get there in the headlights. And then he's like, he counters, can you name all of them? He wouldn't even answer. So this was great. He tried to dodge it, right? He's like, she asked him, can you even name 1? He's like, yeah, murder on 11. And she's like, no, that's wrong. That was wrong. He's like, oh, well, why don't you name them for me? All 7. Oh, tried to pivot and distract from the fact that he didn't even know 1, right? And trying to muddy the waters. Ooh, maybe I do know others, but I'm going to challenge you and make you give me all 7, and then you can't, follow through and see that I don't know any, right? Which we saw he didn't. And then she named them all 7, she named them. Oh, and then when she named him, he self-reports because, thieves think other people are thieves, liars think other people lie. He's like, did you get some help? Did you maybe get some help from, your staff here? Saw you on your phone earlier. And this guy, what a scumbag. And she's like, here, read my phone. And she gave her phone to Patrick Bet-David. And then Andrew's like, oh, well, she could have Telegram. And then she's like, no, the only thing I have on there other than my text messages, because maybe it's not a text message. Maybe it's on Telegram or something. How do we know it's a text message? Implying that she actually got help, that she cheated. He's like, no, you can check my Telegram. Look at my phone. That's the only other messaging app I have. And she opened them all up and gave Patrick Bet-David permission to peruse her messages. Nothing. This guy. What a scumbag. What a scumbag. And, you know, the debate itself wasn't a debate. She wasn't allowed to ask him questions. She was only allowed to ask questions to further explore or his questions, or to get further context or something about the questions he asked. She wasn't actually allowed to ask him any questions, right? And then at the very end of the debate, he allowed her to ask one question. And guess what happened when she was allowed to ask a question? Can you name one charge that Tyler Robinson was charged with? He couldn't. So I guess there's a reason why she wasn't allowed to ask questions, because he didn't know anything. He just came in very obviously with a bunch of talking points. And what he made very clear is we got lots of help from TPUSA. We got lots of help from them, but you can't prove that I work for them. Prove it, or you're just making stuff up. No. Hilarious! Dude, it's irrelevant at this point because they helped you beforehand. They might as well have sent you. Oh, they didn't send me, Really? Where'd you get the 300 grand? Where'd you get the 300 grand then, buddy? You had to start a give, send, go after you sent her the money, which tells me you didn't have the money, or it's the only money you got. You say either you bankrupted yourself, i.e., you were too poor to afford the 300 grand, which you were on Twitter, you were on, a whole bunch of platforms talking about how, I'm rolling dough, baby. I got no problem affording that 300 grand. All of a sudden, I'm broke. I'm busted, baby. I can't afford that. I need you guys to give, send, go that money to me. This is another thing that I find objectionable. This guy, his audience didn't want him to debate her. They weren't clamoring for this. This came from him. He's been doing this for months, by the way. I think it started low, 75 grand or something. Actually, I think it started 50. So 3-4 months back, it was a while ago. Brian Atlas was told her, hey, you want to come on the whatever podcast? I'll give you 50 grand to talk to Andrew. She's like, nah, I don't know this guy. I don't know this nobody. This ankle biter. And then they upped the amount, and then they upped the amount more. And of course, I think Brian Atlas eventually pulled out because, if it's not going to be on his platform, why would he front the money? So it's where did Andrew get this money? Because he's obviously not as wealthy as he claims. And by the way, $300K cash in liquid capital is not nothing. Even lots of very rich people that are worth tens of millions oftentimes don't have that much liquid capital lying around. Most people who have wealth, it's tied up in stuff. Real estate, property. To have $300,000 in liquid capital, people much richer than Andrew, generally speaking, don't have that kind of money lying around. As a general rule. I'm sure there's exceptions, but generally speaking, no. So where'd this guy get this money? But I do recall, I think he alluded to other people helping him out in raising his funds in his video promoting his Give, Send, Go. What people? He didn't say. Could it have been TPUSA? Well, you can't prove that. Wow, buddy. Great. You come across as so genuine, right? It's what a joke. The whole debate was a joke. It was based on a false premise that she was making claims. And by the way, there were a lot of clips. Seems like most, if not all of these clips, by the way, were provided by TPUSA. And if she had actually made positive claims, don't you think that TPUSA, don't you think Andrew, don't you think either of them would have provided clips for this? They showed about, half a dozen different clips that were, in many cases, taken out of context, by the way, of course. Not actually covering what she said before that, a typical lefty technique. but anybody can employ it, right? It's dishonest either way. And she made claims in zero. Zero of these clips did she make claims. Her language was very clear. I guess, in my opinion, here's what I think. Well, that's not making a positive claim. Not only is that not making a claim, it's not making a positive claim. Now, she did none of that. But the entire debate, she let Andrew falsely frame the entire discussion as being based upon the premise that she made a bunch of claims that she had no evidence for. So she was irresponsible. She never did that. She only ever gave opinions. And whenever she tried to present evidence of her own, she talked about having sources. She is a journalist to a certain extent. And dude, she's a lot bigger than you. I wouldn't question that. Proof, evidence. I mean, this is very interesting to me. Andrew is essentially calling into doubt her sources because it sounds fishy to me. I found this interesting. He's allowed to go in there and try to undermine by misrepresenting her opinions as unsupported claims, positive claims. But he does the exact same thing in the next breath and the entire time. Well, you got a source? You gonna give us a name? No? Well, I find that suspicious and very doubtful. I doubt the veracity of your claim. Oh, by the way, that's a claim. So, she's saying, I have sources. And he's saying, well, I doubt the veracity of that claim from you simply because, I just, I have no evidence. Where's your evidence that she's lying, pal? And he pulled these kind of underhanded tactics throughout the non-debate, from the false framing of her opinions as claims. And by the way, she had evidence. And she also had inferences that he was also doing. What I found very interesting, that the vast majority of Andrew Wilson's arguments and issues with her opinions, not claims, was that it wasn't official. Or that he felt she had come to incorrect inferences based on shoddy, pretty vague evidence, right? Like, oh, it's a grainy video. You can't actually tell who the person is, but Andrew inferring that it's Tyler Robinson is okay. And I'm the normie, and I'm normal, and my inference is correct, but your inference, which is equally valid because this is in no way, shape, or form definitive, is bad and wrong. But it's okay when I do it. I can make inferences based on vague evidence that is not really definitive one way or the other, but you cannot. That was most of the debate. Or him just calling into question her evidence, which, in my mind, much of it was no less valid than the state's evidence, right? I mean, the receipt, for example, for the steakhouse, that's actually been shown online. He's seen evidence. He's seen the receipt. Some of it was redacted because I'm guessing there was personal information there, maybe the debit card number, maybe the name of the server or something. But the receipt has been shown online. There have actually been witnesses who have talked about it and seen him. I was like, well, that seems pretty valid. That seems like actual evidence. But he was like, no evidence. There's no receipt. Oh, wait, there's a receipt. Oh, right, there's a receipt. I misspoke. Well, it's bad evidence. Says who? Based on what metric? Your metric seems to be hearsay is good evidence. So, I mean, if hearsay is good evidence, what about actual physical evidence that you can look at, that you can touch, and actual direct eyewitness testimony? I mean, isn't eyewitness testimony better than hearsay testimony? Apparently not. It was obvious that Andrew Wilson went there with a clear-cut agenda, with talking points provided by TPUSA, which he admitted, but I don't work for them, as if that matters. And, went in there, my opinion, as their attack dog. That was pretty clear as well. I mean, he admitted they gave him many of his talking points, much of the information he had, but I don't know, you should trust him. And the whole debate was just Yeah, ridiculous. It was utterly ridiculous. But she let him get away with the false framing. And she didn't really challenge it the entire time. But she did okay, considering. She stayed calm. She stayed cool. But she was too much on the defensive. Instead of challenging his tactics, which were shady and underhanded and dishonest, she let him get away with the false framing and changing the definitions of words and implying that if you give enough opinions, they become claims. Mer-her-her. Because in, my subjective worldview, that's the case. Okay, buddy. Interesting. I mean, I wasn't aware of that. I think that's kind of a non sequitur. If you make enough opinions, the next logical step is those opinions become claims because quantity? That doesn't logically follow. I've never heard that. It was wild. I think he did a terrible job. Andrew did terrible. Candace made some mistakes. I don't know that anybody came out a clear winner. I would only say that tactically speaking, he was slightly ahead, had a bit of an edge, but I mean, overall, and anybody watching this, who is rooting for one or the other, says one won, the other one. Well, these are people that are captured ideologically, and they have their hero, they're a fan of one or the other. And so you're not really going to change those people's minds. But it was a pretty big letdown overall. What we did get to see, though, is how good a debater Andrew is, and not very. He's really a terrible debater. When you take away his ability to steamroll, when you take away his ability to insult and ad hom, he doesn't have much. Another tactic he employed a lot was really, really yammery, right? He still tried to do the steamrolling, still tried to distract Candace, still tried to undermined her train of thought, constantly interrupting, constantly interjecting. It's another one of his tactics. But as far as critical analysis, critical thinking skills, his ability to think concisely, clearly, analytically in the moment, I was really let down. You got to wonder just how much of what is supposedly his ability to debate is just memorized talking points and him referencing his mental Rolodex, and how much of it is real, in real time, analytical thought. I don't think very much of it is actually in real time, analytical thought. I was really let down. You can watch it. I'm going to edit it and par it down a bit when I post it tomorrow, but it's on my live. You can watch it anytime. I don't think anybody else has given as good and concise a breakdown as I have, so of course it won't get many views. But anyway, that's my breakdown of the debate. I think Andrew Wilson did terribly. I think Candace did slightly less well, only tactically speaking. I don't think overall any of them came out really ahead all that much. Maybe Andrew's optics and tactics, the optics maybe came across better because, again, she let him control too much of the narrative and the framing. But, this guy, for being somebody that's a master debater, self-titled, he is not. He showed his ass a lot. This guy, it's like, wow. I was disappointed, to say the least. I was wanting to see that master debater, and what I saw was a junior varsity at best, a debater. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments section. Am I right? Am I wrong? Is Andrew a genius? Because he holds the same views you do, and you somehow identify with him personally because you followed him for so long, and now you can't let go no matter what because it said personal identification. And if anybody attacks him, feels like they're attacking you. Or do you acknowledge, yeah, he did a crappy job? Did a crappy job. Well, let me know what you think in the comment section. And let me know if you think he was working for TP USA, which he never denied. And By the way, I don't know that it really matters because he admitted that he got a lot of his talking points and a lot of those clips, if not all of them, from TP USA. So, yeah, I wasn't too impressed. Guy didn't know any facts of the case. It was very obvious that all he knew were the talking points he had been given by TP USA to hit upon and to discuss ad infinitum, into infinity, beating a dead freaking horse, right? And it was very obviously that he was just sent there. It was very obvious that he was just sent there to discredit her. His agenda was so obvious, in fact, that to say otherwise is just an attempt to gaslight the audience, which he attempted to do, of course. And his defense, of course, would be something like, well, you've got no evidences. You made it up. He loves that term, by the way. That's how he responded to me on Twitter. All right. Excuse me, X. You made it up. Where's your source? You made it up. Is it true? Irrelevant. Since you have no evidence, you made it up. But is it true? No comment. That's the extent of this brilliant guy's denials and tactics. Brilliant. But let me know what you think in the comments section. And please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already. Hit that notification bell to be notified of any future content that I create. And if you'd like to support my continued content creation, guys, I need your help. I really need your help if I'm going to continue making content. Please consider making a donation to my channel. You can make a super chat. You can follow as a monthly supporting member by hitting the join button below the video, or you can follow my Patreon link in the description. You can also send a one-time donation to my Cash App. My Cash App ID is in the description, and I get all of that, and it's totally anonymous for sender and giver. But anyway, on that note, I'm out of here. I am the Realist Philosopher, and I wish you all a good and pleasant day. Take care. And I'll get to your comments now. If you're new to my channel, I answer comments after any commentary that I have done. So, it's mostly Vespasian Judah. All right. Well, anyway. Kalashnikov, Vespasian Judah, at least you're honest. It's a lot more than our politicians. It's okay. Don't worry about it, Vespasian Judah. Vespasian says 300,000 for that. I watched a bunch of it, but ended up falling asleep. Yeah, it's pretty long. Kalashnikov, I was at work. I don't mind the political content, though. Fresh meat. Well, I would suggest you watch it tomorrow on my live. It's good stuff. You'll get more insight from my analysis than anybody else's. Kalashnikova, I saw a video saying Tyler yeeted Charlie to protect his trans furry boyfriend. Yeah, he did have a furry trans boyfriend, by the way, yes. Kalashnikova, don't mess with furries, man. They're the tip of Antifa spear. I don't know, isn't Melanie Mack's husband a furry? Yeah. Johnny Junkers, Vespasian Judah, gonna whip up some instant coffee and a bowl of Ogoynep. Oh, jeez. Okay. This guy's too honest. Vespasian Judah, I don't care about these two at all, but I enjoy hearing your take about it all. I'm not in a Candace or whatever podcast, guys. I'm glad you enjoyed it, though. Makes you for good content for us. Well, I don't know that I enjoyed it. I enjoy the analysis, right? It's very engaging mentally. That's the part I enjoyed. Kalashnikova, do you think Charlie was yeeted because he upset the special people? You mean the little ... at people? Yeah, maybe. I don't discount the possibility. At this point, I don't really know, but some of the evidence presented was so open to interpretation and so vague that you could infer any number of different things. Vespasian Judah, it's like Charlie Kirk for me. He wasn't extreme enough, so I didn't care about him much. Yeah, the shooting changed all that. Poor dude. He was just trying to have a debate. Yeah. No, I think he was, I think by the left. I mean, historically speaking, that's far more likely. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I need more information. I'd need to study the case more. But there was a lot of weird stuff going on. Kalashnikova, Vespasian Judah, Charlie was more like a mainstream Republican. It says a lot about how angry the left is that they would yeet a guy like that. Yeah. Vespasian, just because his family voted for Trump doesn't mean he wasn't living with a T person and talking smack about removing his hate from the world, despite Charlie not even being hateful like that. Well, this is a leftist, you see. Lefties think words are violence, right? Words can be violence. Not all words, just the words they don't like. Words that are offensive. And of course, the only words that are offensive are the things they don't like to hear. You see, if they say things that you don't like to hear, that's okay. Then that's not violence, right? Explain the logic of that. Basing Judah, it's like Tucker. I don't much care about him either. I'm into Matt Walsh, Jake Monroe, and Jared Taylor. Jared Taylor's good. Yeah, I like him. Very right wing. Yeah. Kalashnikova, what about Michael Savage or Rageaholic? I don't know who Rageaholic is, guys. No idea. I was the one who suggested the amazing blank because I used to be that guy. He's a total goofball, right? He's just contrary to be contrary. He's just contrary to be contrary, right? And he resorts too much to ad homs and outright insults, right? As actual arguments, right? So ad homs, right? I mean, I'm okay. You want to, make fun of, ridiculous, nonsensical stuff, but to use it as an actual argument to discredit somebody, to, actually make numerous ad homs, and that's kind of like what you start with, and then you go on to basically lie. Never, ever presented anything solipsistic. Meanwhile, all the things you described, your little cup example and everything was, solipsism of a very specific sort. But no. Oh, you don't know what solipsism means. It's like, dude, that's exactly what we were doing. It's very dishonest, and he didn't represent himself honestly, and just too many shady tactics, not legitimate points of argumentation. It's like, this guy's just contrary to be contrary. He's not even honest about himself, right? He's very lacking in self-awareness. It's like, I don't want to respond to this guy. It's just, he's too goofy. I just can't take him seriously. I just couldn't take him seriously. He just disagrees to disagree. It's like, like a point of contention for him is if you say something that, even if it's true, well, it's not good about him. So, yeah, it has to be denied. Like, the guy can't admit when he's wrong. And it's like also he went through my video, but he didn't respond in real time. It's obvious he took a lot of time. He was posting in my chat, my last live stream with sock puppet accounts, in my opinion, and trying to get me to respond. It was like, dude, I could care less. I don't give a crap. I mean, it's like, why? I mean, I watched your video from start to finish without stop, without Googling anything, without, wikiing anything. Meanwhile, you needed to go through, pick out tiny little out of context clips, just little clips in general. You ignored 90% of the video to just focus and hone in on little tiny clip bits. It's very dishonest. What you should have done, and if you had done, I probably would have responded, start to finish. But you see, a lot of the stuff I said was too on point and too honest, and he couldn't spin it. And so he did the dishonest thing and just started little teeny tiny clips, right? Which actually probably took him more time, but he doesn't have the critical thinking skills or the analytical ability in real time to actually go from start to finish and just via his own thoughts give cogent, coherent opinions. And so, nah, I don't think so. Doesn't interest me. If it doesn't interest me, it doesn't interest me, right? Anyway, let's move on to the next comments. Vespasian Judah, I used to listen to Savage on the radio during the 2000s, says Kalashnikova. Vespasian, yeah, Razorfist is great, right? Not too familiar with Michael Savage. Hell, I knew more about Charlie Kirk before he passed than I do about Michael Savage. Kalashnikova, Vespasian Judah used to listen to Savage on the radio. Okay, these are just them chit-chatting back and forth. Vespasian Judah, aren't most things in life memorized? No. That's not how my mind works. So here's the difference between a philosopher and a non-philosopher. That's not how my mind works. It's about 50-50. So, but I have to... So, no, I don't even know it's that. Not really. Like when I approach a subject, I start from first principles and I build my logic upon a premise-based foundation. Now the premise is solid and well established, but I don't have like a coherent framework of ideology built up that I reference. I literally go through everything from the premise itself through analysis and thought and build it each and every time that I make an argument. I don't do a lot of talking point, mental Rolodex referencing. Most people do. I don't. You could argue that's why I'm so good at critically analyzing things in real time. Or you could argue that's just how my brain works. And so that's why I'm more, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? More, well, anyway, keep in mind I did a 5-hour live stream these days, earlier today. So I'm very tired. The word is not coming to me now. My brain is kind of cooked right now. But anyway, I'm more naturally suited to philosophical endeavors because that's how my brain works. Or that's how I think, and then that's how it works. And so more suited because. But regardless, I mean, anyway, let's move on. Everything we know, we've learned from something. Well, we get answers. So there's a big difference. I get my answers from within, not without. So I'm constantly thinking, constantly analyzing, constantly questioning any conclusions I come to. And whenever I go back and have a new argument with somebody, a new discussion, I start from first principles. This is why I don't like discussing preconceived, pre-made arguments and other people's views and opinions in large-scale ideological terms. I like to debate the person I'm talking to, and I like to build a framework from a solid premise-based foundation, and I want to start with a well-defined premise that everybody agrees on, right? And go from there. So I know we're on the same page and that we're following the same train of thought and that our ideas mesh in regards to our understanding of the definitions. And so I think we can have a more productive conversation that way and a more real one as well, where the thoughts are mine and not somebody else's. Vespasian Judah, that's what I thought. I was pretty sure he was a radio host. Yeah, okay. Vespasian Judah, master debater, I love it. Vespasian Judah, your comment got held for review. I showed it. Yeah, my brother is, so I'm not too huge on the, okay. I disagree with it, but I'm not militant against it. I have no problem with that. Homosexuality, well, I do, but, so my view is it shouldn't be promoted. It should go back to being something that is stigmatized and disapproved of, but it shouldn't be illegal. No. But it shouldn't be promoted either, because we see what happens when it gets promoted. Because in every country it's promoted in, we're below replacement. If it wasn't for third world people, whitey would be obviously dying off. It would be much more noticeable. Nobody wants to talk about it, but white people the world over are below replacement. They'll be gone in a century if we don't do something about it. That's literally true. That is a fact, and people aren't talking about that. You know. Kalashnikova, not saying I could, okay. Kalashnikova, Rageaholic kind of looks like Styx if he was actually a functional person. Okay, I'll have to look him up. So he's not a LOLcow like Styx? Okay. Vespasian, yeah, you should check him out on your private time. I haven't had a lot of that this week. 4 live streams. God. Yeah. Vespasian Judah, you constantly question your mind during mundane tasks. No, when I'm just going throughout my day, there's not a lot going on. I mean, I'm focused on other stuff. Like, I'm focused on what's going on in the world around me. Like, unless I'm actually thinking about, like, you know, what am I going to make for content or a content piece? And a lot of this stuff I don't watch beforehand. Usually I'm in the moment and I'm not thinking about anything. I'm not in my head. I'm in the world, right? Existing in this moment in time. But when I'm engaged in analyzing, in discussing, in breaking down, and building from first principles, yeah. And that's not exhausting at all. I love that. But no, I'm not in that frame of mind all the time. No, 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 no. Far from it. That's too tiring. Overanalyzing. Why don't do that? It depends on what you think of overanalyzing. Can be to detriment as much. Well, if you're talking about time-based, I would agree. Brian John Show. Just scrolling through, I debated the dude who interviewed the guy at the steakhouse that she cited. Really, the dude who interviewed the guy at the steakhouse. So who's the dude? We should probably talk more, buddy. My email is in the description if you'd like to contact me more. You debated the guy who interviewed the guy at the steakhouse. What guy? You mean the owner or the manager or one of the servers or something? I'm assuming that's what you mean. But Andrew said that wasn't true. There is no evidence. There is no receipt. Which he walked back. And Candace didn't call him on that either. She missed a lot of opportunities. And again, she's not a professional debater or even, somebody who would call herself a debater. Again, I think she comported herself very well for somebody who is not debating constantly. Warm tips. Hey, realist, would you say the biggest takeaway from the debate is Andrew conflating his opinions with claims? Absolutely. Because that false framing with that false premise allowed him to continually cast her in the light of a dishonest actor, right? And then to disqualify everything she said because it's now been couched as a positive claim and not an opinion. People are allowed to have opinions, but you see, he cast her opinions as factual claims, positive claims. When he did that, and she allowed that, he was then able to knock down everything she said because it's just a claim. Even though a lot of what she was saying was based on the exact same process of inference that Andrew was making. Right. And I mean, she in passing was kind of like, you're kind of doing the same thing. She should have went into more detail about the methodology of what was going on in regards to the processes of both of their inferences. Like the fact that the evidence itself was so vague, was so ambiguous, was so open to interpretation that you can infer quite a bit. And of course, he's also like, well, why are you then focusing in on this Patsy claim? He couched everything as a claim. Yes, that was the biggest takeaway, really, because it was the foundation of everything else that he built up, right, to discredit her, which was what the entire non-debate was about. Again, it was just a prosecution. It was very obvious that it was more a prosecution than anything else. Brian John Snow, the dude is kind of dumb. He thinks that one witness saying so means that it's a fact. Yeah, well, he had to present his side as more factual. I mean, even on his Twitter post, he was like, I represent the normies. See, he has a very, he studied his Machiavelli. He understands how important optics are in regards to politics and also in regards to just life in general. When you're trying to get a specific narrative across, a certain framing of a situation that is, even if it's not open to interpretation, optics is very important, and he understands that. So he uses a lot of neuro-linguistic techniques to front-load people into seeing things from his point of view. Like how he represents himself, how he presents himself. I'm the normie, she's the dysfunction. I'm the normal person, she's the dysfunctional person. So, I mean, that was really important. So he was setting up the narrative even from the get-go, framing it as normal person with the correct takes, debating, prosecuting, discussing with somebody who's abnormal and a conspiracy nut, right? Flashikova, there are a lot of more factors. Diligent Denizen. No, the guy who did the interview. Oh, the guy who interviewed. Well, who is this guy? Who's the guy that interviewed the guy at the steak house? Can you send me his information? Again, my email's in the description of every video I make. You'll find it in this one as well. I'd love to talk to that guy. That would be very interesting. I mean, if you don't feel like it, that's fine. If it's too much effort for you, but that would be great if you could. You know. By the way, I have talked to Andrew Wilson. It's not like I've never spoken to him before. He doesn't like me very much. That's kind of like an understatement. He really, really dislikes me. And that's fine. You know, I judge people as much by their enemies as their friends, right? Right. His name is Diligent Dennison. He did the original interview. Let's see, can I copy and paste that? I'm going to copy that right now. Got it. Is that his YouTube channel, Diligent Dennison? He did the original interview with the steakhouse guy. Awesome. If that's his YouTube channel, I will message him. That would be an interesting conversation. You know. Yeah, Andrew really hammered on that. He hammered a bunch of other stuff too, which I really thought was just kind of, you know, quibbling. Engaged in what I felt was a lot of pedantry, even though he says he hates pedantry. And it's like, you know, it's just this quibbling over words. And I mean, you know, it's like, dude, I mean, I get it, but you say you hate that. I'm not against pedantry and being pedantic, but it's like, dude, you're like constantly talking about how you hate that. No, only when it's used against me, right? But if I use it against you, it's fine. It's strange to me. It was just a really bad. It wasn't a debate. That was my biggest problem. The people are calling this a debate just shows lack of IQ points. It wasn't a debate. It was not. But anyway, I think that's it. Thank you, Brian John show. I will check that out. Yeah. I think I'm going to move onto an actual piece of content here. We don't have very many views. Oh, man. It's almost like YouTube is protecting Andrew Wilson or something. I don't know. They really, really, really seem to be algorithmically suppressing a discussion about this debate. Personally, yeah, I think the guy's astroturfed to all get out, but all right. Kalashnikova, you wanted me to cover that Nikki piece, right? Oh, I really, really don't wanna, but well, it's just long, but maybe it's good. Let me open it up right now and we'll see. I do remember looking at this myself and just thinking to myself, oh, this is too long. But since there's such a shortfall of Sticks content, meanwhile, we have this piece from Nikki, why not? Or were you talking about, like, a new content piece? Because I checked earlier, I checked today, and I didn't see any new pieces from her. So I'm assuming you're talking about this piece. Like, I don't think she's made new content. She's so lazy. I mean, nope, nothing new. It's been like over a month since she made new content. What a joke. She's not going to be successful on YouTube with that kind of work ethic. Well, right. What work ethic? Yeah. I got up this morning. I was only able to work a half hour today. I really can't do these 4 live streams a week anymore. And I'm going to have to extend the Friday one. I'm going to have to do it later so I can get more work in. But, like, I did, like 2 hours of content this morning, then the 5-hour live stream, then a half-day work, and then come back and do this live stream. It's like literally how many hours? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to have worked like 13 hours today. Oh, man, it's not good. I'm not getting paid enough. Oh, not even close. It's a labor of love. Yeah, well, have to be. That's all I'm getting out of it. All right. Let me see here. All right. Oh, it is funny. Okay, I'll do it. Give me a sec, though. I have to grab something real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I just ate a few slices of bacon that I had pre-cooked just for this eventuality. So that should get me through. All right, screen capture. Check. Infinity me. Good. Check. All right, let's do this. Oh, God, she's hideous. Hideous broad. In my opinion, no, okay. I'll have to. I can't say that. I shouldn't say that. Not allowed to have an opinion. Yikes. I'm talking about her personality, not her looks. Hideous personality. So hello all and welcome. It is I, the Realist Philosopher, and this is the Realist Philosopher Show. So how y'all doing today? Hope you're all doing good, fine, and well. So here we have Nikki Turkovic, the former girlfriend of Styx Hexenhammer 666, a.k.a. the Tooth Knocker Router. This is the bra that knocked out Styx's tooth. And this video, I was aware of. I decided a while ago not to cover it because it's quite long compared to our other content pieces. And I tend to have a lot of commentary to begin with, so I didn't really want to cover it. But one of my fans sent me an email saying you need to talk about this. It's actually kind of funny. I think you'll find that it's worth it. We'll see. I trust this person's judgment. We'll see if I trust it after this. But they said it was worth covering, so let's see what this is about, shall we?
Hello. I am very dirty.
Whoa. She's missing a tooth in this. Wait, she was missing a tooth like Styx? What? Hold on.
Hello.
Okay, so it's the front tooth on the right side, and she knocked out the front tooth of Styx on his left side. Okay.
I am very dirty. I would like to make videos on things other than puzzle combat. I have other videos, and I would like to make videos on...
Yeah, she's got like dozens and dozens of videos of Candy Crush and other garbage on her channel.
My thoughts and opinions on everything, literally everything in the fucking world, okay?
Yeah, she thinks we should eat bugs and be happy, guys. Okay, some opinion.
I have an opinion on everything, and not only that, but my opinion is the best.
No, it's not.
I was waiting to get my front tooth. Oh, this is a fucking front justified video now. It should be, I meant it's vertical, not horizontal. I guess it doesn't matter. But obviously I think I look like shit, like a fucking crackhead without the tooth. I was waiting for the tooth.
I think you look like a crackhead with the tooth replaced, but anyway.
But now, it's going to be another year for the fucking tooth, guys, so can't wait forever to disclose my thoughts on everything, because my thoughts are the best thoughts in the world, on everything in the world. I don't look that bad. I think next time I'll put makeup. What if I applied makeup and did another video tomorrow? What if I put on makeup, took a shower, and put in my tooth.
Oh.
I can't even, dude. I can't even get over my life.
I think she's still living in her car at this point. Probably mold in that car. You know, cars aren't made to be lived in. Not enough ventilation. Yeah.
Obviously, you can tell I need to smoke more weed. The topic of today's video is fat acceptance.
Oh, boy.
I wish I could fucking turn it sideways now so that I could fucking... You can't fix it on your TV. I wish I could video edit, dude. Like, I wish I could cut it in half.
Aren't there programs that allow you to edit video on your phone? Like Capture Cut? I think there are programs for that.
And then put it so that, whatever. So recently, something happened that enraged me. I just bitched to my best friend about it.
Okay, real quick, I want to do a sound check. All right.
Recently...
Okay, it's good. Well, it's not good, but the sound is good.
On a fucking voice thing. And now I shall bitch to you.
Oh boy.
So there's a very thin woman who's my...
Let me guess, she's going to say we need more acceptance of overweight people. Yeah.
friend on Facebook. And...
Thin woman. Uh-huh.
I was saying... Or she knows that I think that I'm overweight. There's no debate on this.
Right.
I am overweight.
Yeah.
I am scientifically overweight.
I think you mean obese. Yeah. Morbidly obese. Yeah.
I am overweight, so much so that it is causing health problems.
But it's okay that you're overweight because you know you're overweight. Uh-huh.
I don't care if my head and face don't look overweight. I don't
They do.
care if my fingers don't look overweight. One of the most amazing things is I got close to weighing 300 pounds and I never got fat fingers. Some people, it's like their fingers look like balls and they look like so...
You mean sausages? Mm.
And it's like, yeah, obviously I could get fatter, but anyway.
It's okay that I'm fat because I'm not fatter than I am.
So she says, oh, you have bad self-esteem. You have low value of yourself. Blah, blah, blah. And you shouldn't call yourself fat. You're not fat. And it's like, dude, first of all, obviously, I'm not trying to run around the world saying that I'm fat. What I'm saying is, you know...
Well, you kind of are. Yeah. Posted it on YouTube.
Well, the truth of the matter is that, you know, like, I've been rejected by many guys for being overweight. There
bet.
are also many guys who will have sex with you, but who won't get into a relationship with you. Or marry you, of course.
Is she RP'd? Is she red-pilled? What? Nah. Come on.
Because you're overweight. They don't want to be seen in public with you because you're overweight.
That ain't the only reason, honey.
But they'll fuck you in a bedroom.
Maybe. Maybe not. You already said you've been rejected. So, not all will.
Because...
I mean, Sticks will, but he has very low standards, so... It's not a good metric.
It's a notch on both of your belts. That's a whole nother topic. So, like... The whole point of the story in a nutshell, here's the nutshell. The story in the nutshell is, one day, this bitch is saying that I'm not allowed to call myself fat. And then, not literally the next day, but like the next week. A few days later, she's saying that she's been considered fat and that she's called fat. And it's like, first...
She might be. I mean, what you consider thin might not really be thin. You just think she's thin because you're so big. I mean, if she's like 5'6" and 150 pounds, she's overweight, okay?
First of all, At this point, I just think it's a lie. Because we're okay, here's how it all went down. Let me tell you how it all went down.
Oh boy.
Do you want to know how it all went down?
Not really.
Oh, Christ, dude. I need a fucking home, okay? Because I actually do have... The truth of the matter is, it's actually a tripod that knocked out my tooth.
Oh my God.
Because my dad is a hoarder, and the tripod was near the ceiling in this room of junk. Because they're all junk rooms. It's not the junk room.
Would it like fall off or something? Is that why you moved out and lived in your car now at this point?
A junk room. Had a tripod on the ceiling. God, I love myself so much. That's the other thing that really pisses me off.
Why do you love yourself? I mean, are we kidding here? What's there to love? When you're a slave to your appetites, you overeat, you're drunk, you're a pothead. It's like you're all vices, no virtues.
2 things. You can tell me 2 things to piss me the fuck off. 1.
Boy. Oh, I don't think that's the only 2. I don't think it's only 2 things, sweetheart. You seem perpetually pissed.
You don't love yourself, Nikki. Once you love yourself, all your other fucking problems will magically disappear.
Oh, that's not true, by the way.
Who are you to tell me that I don't fucking love myself? I love myself so fucking much, I don't care that I look like this.
Maybe you should. You ever think that's a problem, honey? I think you're conflating love with acceptance. By the way, why, if you love yourself so much, why wouldn't you lose weight, right? Because you care so much about yourself. When you want to be healthy? No.
Just because I'm going to sit here and tell you that the world treats me differently because I'm overweight and because I'm missing a tooth.
Does it? I don't know. I mean, people are pretty accepting of this kind of thing now, right? Too much so. And so are you.
You project that onto me and say, oh, you have bad self-worth, Nikki. No, you don't
Well, yeah.
understand.
I do. I understand very well.
Understand that my self-worth is not based on my physical appearance.
Well, maybe it should be to a certain extent. I mean, just look at you.
I understand that, oh, I'm so kind and I'm so generous and thoughtful and intelligent. Oh, that's why I'm a high-value woman, because of the...
Well, you're not high value. I don't think you're intelligent. I certainly don't find you kind.
These qualities. I understand that. But that doesn't change the reality of the situation that a normal human looks at me and says, oh my God, look, she's missing a tooth. This is a fucking junkie drug addict retard that...
Yeah, well, yeah.
It literally lives in their car and is...
Yeah, it's all true so far.
Too fucking fat and stupid to get a fucking apartment. That doesn't mean that I think that I have no value. That means that society is telling me that I have no value.
Oh, so objectively you have value, even though I've seen no evidence of it and everybody's telling you you don't. Got it.
Because I can't jump through the proper hoops and...
Oh, I see. She sounds like Styx. I have value. I just don't have enough value to, live a normal life like other people. So I can live in my car. But I got value.
Come up with all the money in order to have a home and to have normal things, like to be able to take a fucking bath every day, that I have to look like this, fucking unshowered, horrific, dude. Like,
so you're saying you don't have enough value to afford a bath or just a rudimentary home. Got it.
I wish I had a mirror and a fucking sink, like...
Didn't you? But you didn't want to live at your dad's house, right? There's too much junk in it, and you were too lazy to throw a lot of it out. Yeah.
And then the other way to piss me off, other than telling me that that I don't love myself because you don't agree with my fucking decisions in life, because that's what it comes down to. It's like they're saying, Nikki, I don't agree with your decisions, so I decided that you don't love yourself. I'm just like your mother. And it doesn't matter if you tell me that you love yourself, and it doesn't matter if you tell me that you love me. I control you. I control your fucking thoughts and your emotions and your feelings, and I'm gonna tell you that you don't love yourself because your actions don't conform to what I fucking want them to be. There's nothing more infuriating in the world than somebody trying to fucking control you, especially trying to control your fucking thoughts and your feelings and your actions, when it's like, The deepest feeling that I have for myself is love for myself.
Why? You're an atrocious person. What are you talking about?
Like, you don't understand. I hate everyone.
Why don't you hate yourself? It should be yourself that you hate. That would be actually a good thing, because if you hated yourself, which you should, then you might actually change.
So fucking much. And they piss me off so much. Like, and the people are so stupid. This is a great rant.
Oh, they're the stupid ones. Okay.
And it's like the people are so stupid. It's like, I am so fucking thankful that I have my brain, that I am myself, that I'm Nikki, and I'm...
Why? You're a pothead, an alcoholic, and a drug addict. You're living in your car.
I love myself more than I could possibly love anybody else.
Well, maybe that's part of the problem. Vanity. Narcissism.
Even when I'm in love with a guy, I don't love him as much as I love myself. And then they say, oh, but you're still with that guy, or you're still, chasing that guy. So that means you don't love yourself.
Who said that?
And that's the example of why they're saying that I don't love myself, because my actions don't conform to...
Well, no, maybe it has something to do with the way you treat yourself and live your life.
Their desires. I do need to breathe after that. I was supposed to,
Yikes.
What happened to the water? I drank the
She's in bad shape, man. Out of breath just from talking.
water.
I'm in better shape than her, and I'm an old man. Though I'm not, overweight, so that helps.
I don't have anything to...
A disgusting animal.
So look. First, I need... Oh, I should get the same mount that fucking, what's his face? Adam
This is all cope. It's cope.
has. Because I need a mount.
Sweetheart, you're living in your car. What money are you going to be buying? Your priorities are all out of whack.
And, so look.
Dead air.
I hate it when other people gatekeep things and they want to control you.
What do you mean gatekeep what? Ain't nobody keeping you from getting an apartment, a home, a job. That's you. Gatekeeping herself.
So this woman, who's my friend on Facebook, one day she's telling me that I'm not allowed to call myself fat and that I'm not fat, when objectively I'm fat.
Yep.
Scientifically, I'm fat. Biologically,
Oh,
I'm overweight.
Yep.
For the normal weights of my species, I'm way over that.
Yeah, but you're okay with that. That's the problem.
It's causing health problems for me. I have irrevocable heart problems.
They're not irrevocable. I mean, you could change that by losing weight and exercising.
For example, and lung issues.
You smoke.
And knee issues. I can never get the cartilage or whatever it's called back in my knees.
Yeah, it's called cartilage. Yeah.
Or my ankles. Or any joint.
Or
I can't erase the joint issues that I have.
help with them by losing weight.
Because my body's carrying, it has carried up to an extra 100 pounds of weight. It has always carried at least 50 extra pounds of weight. So
No, I don't believe it's just 50. I don't think it's ever been that low.
sometimes up to 100 pounds extra weight. And then it's like...
What is she, like 5'4"? Sweetheart, you should be like maybe 110 pounds, okay?
So that's what infuriates me. That's what makes me want to punch a fucking bitch in the face. When she tells me that I'm not allowed to call myself fat. It gets better, though. It gets better and more infuriating. I still think I'm beautiful. Oh.
Really? Well, that's part of the problem.
How is that? Because it's the front camera.
So they say she thinks she's beautiful. Yeah. Okay.
So look, dude, I just got to prop this up somewhere. I don't know. Look at the ceiling. Look at my dudes here.
Stuffed animals? What? What are you, 12?
Oh, God,
What?
I'm so thirsty. Oh, God, I love hearing myself talk.
She's being honest here. This is just stream of consciousness. She loves hearing herself talk. Why? Oh, you say stupid crap.
So, yeah, my dude Adam showed me different people. And he's like, how can this guy get here? Get on the YouTube.
Now you're just talking. Where's the video? You're not in the picture. Oh, my God.
He said it more articulately. I need the weed to make me articulate. I need the cariophile. They're the cariophylline fucking terpene.
She's toking it. She's living in her car.
That's the thing, dude. I love myself
She's living in her car, but she's got money for pot.
so much that I just wish that I could talk in the fucking camera every day. The point of that anecdote.
You're lazy. You had a home now for like a couple months. 2-3 months, you've had a place. You haven't been in your car, but you haven't made any videos. What are you talking about?
Was Adam looking at the dudes on the YouTube saying, oh my God, I don't know how I can sit there for 20 minutes just talking. And it's like, bro.
Sweetheart, I can spend 8, 9, 10, 12 hours talking. What?
Bro, I don't know how you can't. Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck kind of mindless NPC piece of shit could not and would not deeply desire yet just sit in front of the fucking camera every day?
Well, it takes talent, which you don't have in this regard. I'm sure you have other talents. You smoke a lot of pot. You're good at smoking pot. You're good at eating. Maybe you should consider a professional eating career. You can make good money with that, yo. Well, can you? I don't know. I know there's some YouTubers that do it. Maybe she should do that. That would be entertaining.
Disclosing my beautiful thoughts from my beautiful brain. Okay.
Delusional.
So yeah, I loved Ernest P. Worrell and Mr. Bean. Dude, if I just had one fucking person, I swear to God, if I just had one fucking friend.
Did you say you had a Facebook friend? I guess that don't count.
Who was willing to do this for me. I need a friend who I can jive with. I have one friend, okay? But we're not on the same wavelength so much. I need a friend like BJ Powell. I need a friend like, Michael Belkner, who I never even met in real life. I need a friend like some of these guys, right? Some of the guys that run away from me.
Gee, I wonder why.
It'd be really hard to be female. That's the thing that sucks. Like, do females like this exist? Yeah, obviously, I am one. But,
No, you're not. People who are incoherent?
It's probably going to be a penis holder. A penis holder. Oh, no, I read something else today, and it was really funny. It was like, I think the thing that they said was ovary haver. Like an ovary having, like here's a female and here's an ovary having female. And that was the language they wanted to introduce. And I think that's all fine and good. It's hilarious. But I always like the word penis. So I was like, oh, this is a male and this is a penis holding male. See, I like that. I like males without penises. I like
What?
males without penises a lot.
Are there many of those? I don't think so. The age of eunuchs has passed, hadn't it?
Better than I like women without ovaries. That's what I'm saying.
What the hell is she talking about?
So
Babble.
I have one ovary.
That makes no eggs. No eggs coming out of you, honey.
And that makes me half male and half female.
What?
It makes me a one gonad holder, just like Tom Green and Hitler. I am so proud of this.
You have gonads? I don't think so. What is she talking about?
You can't even fucking perceive how proud I am of this fact. I was gonna get a beverage.
With what money? Does she have EBT? Can you get EBT as a homeless person? Don't you need to have an address?
I was talking about fatness. The topic of today's discussion.
Fatness.
Between me, myself, and I. Me, myself, and R8 son of a bitch. I like the R8 son of a bitch personality the best. He just says whatever the fuck he wants. Right?
Lord.
That's a
She's gonna hack up a lung.
thing that fucking sucks, dude. I'm so talented, and all my talent has gone to waste.
What talent? Where is she? Is this why she stopped making content? Because she can't handle the criticism? I mean, sweetheart, if you're gonna make YouTube content, you gotta be able to handle critique, okay?
I can do voices.
I haven't heard any. I'm better at voices than you, so that's number one. You're not really talented in.
I can sing. I could
Show us.
sing. I stopped practicing singing. Now it feels like I've said this a million times. I've stopped practicing singing because of the tooth thing. but that's horrible. It's so fucking, like, I want...
You know, everybody can sing, right? Like, most people can sing. They just do it badly, okay?
I have cried for it, and I want to cry for it even more. Because I taught myself how to scat. I need to get to learn how to scat better. I can't do it without the tooth, dude. It's so upsetting.
Who the hell listens to scat? What?
It is also so smoky in here.
Yeah, I wonder why. Out of breath.
Okay.
Lady, you need to go for a walk or something. Get some cardio.
Okay, so look. I weigh 100 pounds more than this woman. And she told me that
You're two of her. We got it.
I shouldn't call myself fat. And
yes, you should. And you should be ashamed of it, too. That's the problem. You're not.
like, what it all boils down to is this cunt, this fucking bitch, has an unreasonable perception of her own body.
I was going to say she has an unreasonable amount of control over you and your emotions, which you are apparently not in control of.
She's already, like, thin.
Uh-huh.
I was
By your estimation. Yeah.
I was going to say too thin, but yeah, I mean, that's all subjective. Some people would even call her too thin. There you go. Not me.
I bet I wouldn't. I bet I wouldn't.
But, some people would. And, right, like if she bought boobs for herself, it would look weird. It gets to that point where the girls get so thin, and then they buy the boobs, and then it's like, what is this stick figure with, like, balloons attached to it? Is a stick
Sounds good to me, honey. I know what you're talking about.
with balloons. Like, what's that doing? All right. So anyway.
Yeah, you clearly do not understand men.
That's how thin she is. And then...
so you're jealous. You're envious. Is that it? Yeah.
So she...
How dare this thin SOB tell me I'm chunky? Overweight?
She makes this post where everybody's putting their height and weight. And then it's like, first of all, yes, I could totally understand. I'm sorry for using the word literally too much. I can understand.
We understand, honey. You have a shortage of words. Your vocabulary ain't too robust. We get it.
How people started, the fat acceptance movement, and then they would call it, like, not even a microaggression, but an aggression. Like, they would point out that it's triggering in a public space for females especially to just have everyone start posting their height and weight. Obviously, it's not like gym class. They're not screaming it out so everybody can hear. So it's like, okay, I'm just obviously not going to post my height and weight. I don't have to. Nobody's going to make me. But some woman posted a fucking thin height and weight, right? 3 inches taller than me and like 80 pounds less than me.
Why would that bother you? You've already said you had no problem with it. Yet you accept and love yourself. Apparently, that's not true.
Bitch is 3 inches taller than me, 80 pounds less than me, and says, ha ha ha, this is how much I weigh, and that's considered overweight. So I have to call them out on it, dude, because that's a blatant lie. And then that's the thing. Is the person lying?
No.
Is the person lying, yes or no? Did this really happen?
Did what happen? That they're thinner than you? A lot of women are thinner than you. Well, maybe not a lot.
I don't think it happened, dude. And then if yes, that had happened, then, obviously the person saying that, and then you have to ask, did the person saying that person was overweight, did they really believe it? Or were they just saying it to try and hurt that person? See, that
The hell is she talking about?
that's the thing. That's the problem with society.
I thought smoking the devil's lettuce made you more clear-headed, honey. You sound even less coherent now.
You can't tell the truth because what matters more, it's like people are like dogs. I was going to say people are like animals, but it's like a dog. Like, it doesn't matter the words you say to the dog so much. It matters your inflection, your tone of voice.
Yeah, they can't understand words, honey, okay?
So it's like, it doesn't matter what the fucking truth is to a human. It only matters their feelings. It only
That's not true.
matters how you make them
We're not dumb like dogs. Well, maybe you are.
feel. So, right, I spoke this all out before so that I would have a good video. I should have even written it down, but I can get out what I want to say in a roundabout way. I just have to,
I've heard her scripted videos. They're no less incoherent.
let it occur. Let the flow flow. So look, right. See, I could have, speaking of the flow, I could have made a flow chart. I should have drawn. That's why I wish I had a dry erase board. See, in a home, I can get a portable dry erase board for the fucking car. And eventually I'll get a tooth and I'll be able to talk.
What do you think, you're Pearl Davis? No, we don't need a whiteboard from you.
Talk with Ben Shapiro again, but we're not there yet. So, until then, I can't.
I bet she thinks she's as smart as Ben Shapiro, and Ben Shapiro ain't even as smart as Ben Shapiro.
Can't talk that fast.
She equates talking fast to intelligence, huh? Got it.
One day, one fucking day, I want to debate Ben Shapiro, dude. Like, really fast. Like, I like watching videos and speeding them up. I want you to have to slow us down. So anyway.
She thinks she could debate Ben Shapiro. Uh-huh.
Back to the post. There's so many branches that I could get back to, but back to the post. Right. So the woman posted her height and weight, which was
triggering to you, right? Because you're heavily overweight, but you're okay with it, but it still triggered you, okay?
60, might not have been 80. Her height was 3 inches taller than me. Her weight was like 60 to 80 pounds less. And she
sounds about right.
Said, ha ha ha, that's mine and that's considered overweight. So I called them out on and
yeah, it might be. Yeah. As big as women are today in the West.
And then the original OP said, oh yeah, I'm considered overweight too. I had to call them out on it because I don't think that I don't think that ever happened. B, it's a complete lie that they're overweight. Nobody.
No, it's not. It's just that being overweight has become so accepted that women that are obviously 20, 30, 40 pounds overweight are considered normal. That's how bad things have gotten, okay?
A reasonable person, like with police and in courts and stuff, it's like, would a reasonable person perceive this as a threat? Would a reasonable person perceive this as a reasonable action, to follow from this threat or this, occurrence? So it's like a reasonable person, like no reasonable person would ever call either of these women fat.
What do you define as reasonable? I probably would, so wrong.
Okay. Would a person call them fat? Yeah, a fucking deranged person would call them fat.
Oh, deranged. Oh, see, I'm the bigger victim. I'm actually overweight, but they're not overweight. They're trying to claim my victim status. How dare they?
And they might call themselves fat if they have body dysmorphia. And they look in the mirror and they see me like a big blimp whale. Look, let's do it.
Sweetheart, you're aware that most women should be between 100 and 130 pounds, okay? But instead they're like 160, 170, so what are you talking about?
Let's do it right. Like a big blimp whale floating away, right? And they could see that instead of seeing the thin person that they truly are.
Well, thin compared to you, but not thin overall, objectively speaking.
And that's how you get anorexia. That's what, body dysmorphia, bulimia, great. I mean, not great, lethal. The most lethal, that's like the most inwardly lethal psychological disease. I think the most outwardly lethal psychological disease is actually not sociopaths. I think it's people with BPD. But anyway.
That would be you.
You can't check that. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor nor a lawyer. I'm a fucking gonzo journalist. You can't trust anything that I say, ever.
Then why should we listen to you or watch your videos?
I would like to take another hit. Doctor, may I take another hit? Dr. Ganesh says yes. Dr. Ganesh says yes. We're going to take another hit of the weed while we gather our thoughts. Can you even see the tree? Can I make it so that you can see the tree? I look so ugly. Can I make it so that you can see the tree?
Why?
Which is more lovely than me.
Probably. No leaves on it, so. What is she smoking more devil's lettuce? You have no home. You live in your car, but you're token up. Where's she getting the money for this? Oh my God. Oh my. Lovely. Oh man, this is so objectionable, man. What an oh, she's so
That
disgusting.
hit made me burp instead of cough. How delightful. So, you've had these two women. Now you can see my eyes are redder. So you had these two women saying that their heights and weights, which they displayed openly, were perceived as overweight. So I had to call them out on it. And I said, by whom?
Me?
I wish that I had use of my other phones, because
Well, sweetheart, if you're 250 pounds, which you probably are, or even 230, and somebody's 80 pounds lighter than you, I mean, if she's 150 pounds, unless she's like a female bodybuilder, she's overweight. Okay? Women are not supposed to be the size and weight of men, even lean men.
do have another phone, but they have
I mean, at my leanest, at 5'11", I was like 158, 159 pounds. Well, a little thinner, actually. But, yeah, I'd say at my, fittest, 158, 159. If you're that heavy as a woman, you're overweight.
no service. So anyway, I could read it to you right now, I wish. And it's like, okay, so who told you that you were fat? Who considered you overweight? What are these magical entities?
Magical.
And it's like, I'm not a see, and then I guess that is, I hate being like, well, I don't, whatever. I hate humans, and I hate the way that they are, because it's like, are you calling me a liar without calling me a liar? And it's like, yeah, kind of, dude, because it's like,
She hates humans. Aren't you a human?
when you make an unreasonable, bizarre assertion like that, you know, it's like,
You said you're a genius. Talented.
hey, remember all those people calling Princess Diana fat? And it's like,
No, I don't remember any of that.
no,
said?
was that
Who said she was overweight? That's not a real thing.
a thing? That sounds like a thing that you made up. And then you might find out that, like, oh yeah, it was a trend for like a week that, you know, they heard that she had an eating disorder. So like, you know, the royal family of Charles, you know, like called her fat, like to her face, or made implications about it. And then it's like, okay, yeah, you could be called fat, but like, that's not a reasonable thing that any reasonable human being in the world would ever fucking do. Like,
Okay, whatever.
so it gets better, dude. So the
Does
bitch
it?
cunt says, so I bring out,
Animal.
so I bring out the BMI, and I say, look, both of you have a BMI of 23.
Keep in mind she's bi, so that's probably why she's doing all that. Yeah.
That's not considered fat. And then they say, the BMI is bullshit.
To a large extent, it is, by the way.
And it's like, normally, when somebody says the BMI is bullshit, it's because their BMI is 26 or 26 or 30, and they are on the upper scale, and they don't want to be called fat. But
Wasn't the guy that invented it like a mathematician or something? He wasn't a biologist or a scientist or in any way, shape, or form expert on these type of things.
this is why I had to share this. In this instant, both of these women, brain dead women,
Oh,
are in fact saying the opposite.
they're brain dead. Uh-huh.
They're saying that the BMI is bullshit because they want us to believe that they're called fat by the magical entities. I call them entities in the comment, and then the bitch repeated back to me entities, because we both thought it was funny. Because she's a bitch like me. It's fine. We're all bitches. You know, we're all cunts, bitches, and assholes in this world. Just let it go. You know, just
No, not all women are.
don't think about it too much, or
Oh.
think about it a lot and write like a fucking thesis, like the beautiful thesis, like of Trey Parker and Matt Stone. You know, where I'll always reference this, where it's like everybody's an asshole or penis or vagina, and everybody's, you know, the dicks are trying to fuck the pussies and the asses are jealous of the pussies getting more dicks in them, so they're also trying to fuck the dicks.
What?
And, you know, the pussies maybe don't want the dicks and whatever.
What? Is this her whole life? Just obsessing over sex and drugs and food and booze.
So, instead of saying, oh, the BMI is bullshit because it says that I have a BMI of 30 and I'm not obese. Instead of saying that, they're saying the opposite. They're saying, people call me obese all the time. People call me obese, even though my BMI is healthy. And that's why the BMI is bullshit, because the BMI isn't harsh enough on people. This is what they don't understand that they're saying. They're literally saying the BMI is bullshit because it's not harsh enough on people. The BMI says 23 is a healthy BMI. Start to worry if you're over 20, if you're 26.
Fluctuates greatly, by the way. It'll say bodybuilders are overweight too, and to a certain extent they are. Carrying lots of extra weight is not good for your heart, regardless of whether it's lean muscle or, fat. Of course, it's worse to have lots of extra fat. It can also be bad to have too much extra muscle. You see that with a lot of bodybuilders that, shoot up and such. But, people who carry extra amounts of weight, muscle, or fat tend to have shorter lifespans, okay? Because it puts more strain on their heart. Just saying.
And then by the time they say 26 is overweight, and then 30 is obese, according to the BMI chart, right? So anyway. But honestly, in all fairness, they could have been looking at an old one, because I've seen charts that broke it up into men and women, and I refuse that because I'm a man-woman, right? And like...
What? What do you mean she's a man-woman? What is she talking about?
The thing that... The old chart that... See, now this is an all-encompassing video, dude. Now this...
But you have to break it up into men and women. Men and women are different. They have different amounts of muscle. They have different, their organs are different in size. Their bone density is different. I mean, literally how much bone they have. I mean, what's she talking about?
This is just like a right proper rant with all these like fucking tentacles, right? Going out all over the place. And that's great. That's how I like it. Tentacle fucking you. I want to tentacle fuck your mind, dear viewers. Please allow me to. I just tentacle fucked my own mind, bro. I just tentacle fucked my own mind. Can you see the Bucky? Look at the Bucky. Just think about going to Bucky's right now and what you would get. I like their burritos, but that's way too much for me right now. I think I might just get some nuts, dude. I think I might just get some sweet and or salty nuts.
With what? By the way, how does she afford car insurance? She's homeless living in her car. How does she pay for everything required to move that vehicle around? Where's she get money? Probably her dad.
And a meat stick.
My God.
Think about salty and their sweet nuts and meat sticks, man.
What the hell? Sticks? What were you thinking? You put your Tootsie Roll in this?
Just here a minute.
Oh my God. She's out of her mind. What am I watching?
This is the greatest video ever made. And that's made by me. And that's why, if you endorse me as a world dictator, I promise to do everything exactly the opposite of Elon Musk.
Honey, you would blow the world up if you were world dictator, okay? It would end in like a month. You'd kill us all. What are you talking about? This is the greatest video ever? Well, this is why you're not making content, or whatever content you do watch, you can't get very much play on, okay? Break.
Here I am, not playing Diablo. Here I am, being so extremely poor. I'm almost as poor as he is rich. Not quite so much, but...
You can afford pot. And meat sticks. And nuts. Expensive crap from a gas station.
If you elect me as world dictator over Elon Musk, I promise I would use my money and my powers to put chickens in your hot tubs and to put the homeless people in malls like we all want to see.
What?
A vote for Nikki is a vote for prosperity. And if you like...
Homeless people in malls? What? They hang out at libraries, don't they?
Communism, it's a vote for communism. And if you hate communism, it's a vote to boot every fucking communist in the head until they die of deafness.
So just say whatever it takes to get yourself elected. Gotcha. You're not very different from any other politician in that regard.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
So back to
Nothing.
Obesity. I just want people to watch me get high, right?
Well, that's
I'm so
easy.
fucking lonely.
Yeah, you have no talent, so yeah, at least you can do that. Yeah, that's her talent, getting high. Is that a talent? Yeah. What?
Okay, so back to the crux of the situation is I hate humans. I hate interacting with humans. I hate fucking people. I hate people. I don't hate fucking people. I do hate fucking people. At this
Yeah, they're the problem, I'm sure.
juncture in my life, I do hate people and fucking people. And
So she loves herself. She's great. She's wonderful. The other 99.99999% of humanity, they're the ones that are the problem. Got it.
fucking people, basically. So, like, within the same week, a thin woman, a thin, tiny woman, so tiny that she can wear boys' jeans, told me
Sounds
that I'm
good.
not allowed to call myself fat, that I have a low vision of myself because I'm not fat.
I think she just said you shouldn't. So it was an ought claim. I doubt she said you can't.
And within the same week, somebody else said, and within the same week, she posts everybody's fucking weights and heights, and then says, yeah, mine's considered fat. And it's like,
What do you care?
do you really believe that? Are you mental? Yes, I guess so, because you already said you had body dysmorphia. But, like, it's either, one, you're mental if you think that, two, you're hallucinating because whoever told you that you were fat. And then she said doctors. And then I went off on that, and I can't go back. I don't care what and if she comments after this, because
Apparently you care a lot.
I've never had a doctor call me fat in my fucking life, dude.
Maybe you should have.
I'm so fucking goddamn fat, dude. I wish to God that when I was fucking 12 years old, 13, any fucking age, I wish that a doctor sat me down and they said, Nikki, you're overweight.
Nikki, you're overweight. Stop eating so much. Stop drinking so much. It's empty calories.
Nikki, you need to lose weight. Nikki, you're starting fucking health changes in you're starting changes in your body, which after so many years of carrying so much excess weight go by cannot be reversed. Nikki.
That's not true. You can reverse some of the damage. Your body still makes stem cells. I guess they regenerate to a certain point. It's not reversible. Is that how she's trying to justify still being overweight? Is that what it is? Well, the damage is irreversible now, so why should I lose weight? It would make no difference.
You should really, really, really consider losing weight because you're a beautiful girl, and I implore you to fucking lose weight now.
You should really, 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 really lose weight. And, side effect of that is you might actually find the man you claim to want so much. You still wouldn't want her.
Because right now, it's only 40 pounds overweight. But it's like now, it's 80 pounds overweight.
No, it's way more than 80. You got to lose about, I would say, 110, 120 pounds, honey. Come on.
So I wish that they fucking grabbed me and shook me and slapped me in the fucking face when I was...
No, because that was too late, even though I'm a fully cooked adult and responsible for my own decisions. Yeah, but you're still blaming your childhood, people in your childhood. Love it.
40 pounds. And then it's like... I just hate the world, dude. This is why I hate the world, because it makes me the bad guy. I'm the bad guy because I want to be allowed to call myself fat when I'm overweight.
And you want the world to be okay with it, yeah. And you want to be okay with it, yeah. And you want it to be okay for you to be okay with it, got it, yeah.
And I want to call out people when they call themselves fat when they're very, very thin, and when they lie about saying that other people consider them fat when I know that they're not fat and that nobody else...
Maybe they're fat. Maybe you're just very fat. You ever stop to think that? There are tears here,
else in their right mind, no reasonable person would ever fucking perceive them as fat or call them fat to their face.
I don't know. I just have your word for it, and I don't really trust your word.
And then for this bitch to sit there and tell me that her doctor called her fat when she was thinner than when she was... It sounds like a tall tale. It's so incredibly unbelievable that it sounds like a tall tale. It sounds like she's making it up just so that she can be right. And it's like so many women lie, so many humans lie, especially females. It's like, how are you supposed to fucking believe anybody,
Why should I believe you then?
It's like, that's why, like, seriously, I walk through life with two things being true, like, all the time. Like, I hate the binary perception of reality that everybody seems to have.
What binary is that? Could you please tell us what this binary is? Oh, this should be good.
This is a whole nother topic of conversation. I also
Oh, she's not going to tell us.
want to do, well, I want to do political, philosophical, sociological, psychological. I want to do all kinds of fucking videos.
God, I would love to hear this. Come on. Yeah, do it. Do it.
Theological.
Oh, my God.
Because now I just forgot what I was going to say again. In the future,
Oh, wow. She's such a genius.
you would write down.
She can't keep her own train of thought. Yeah.
In the future, I'd be good to write down bullet points.
Oh, yeah, she did that. It was terrible.
That I would look and be like, oh, I'm still on this thing. Oh, I can move on to this thing. It's so fucking smoky, dude. So that's why I hate humans and that's why I hate females. I'm trying to encapsulate this.
Everybody else made me overweight. I didn't do it to myself.
Because who knows who wanted to watch this for 40 minutes. I've got to have some admirers. I've got to have some people to watch the train wreck.
Well, why would you love a train wreck? I don't love train wrecks. I think they're really bad things.
This is why I hate a woman, because I couldn't imagine looking at a fat woman, calling herself fat, and saying, oh, I wish that I'd lost weight earlier in my life, blah, blah, blah,
Isn't that you? Didn't you just describe that as you?
Because then it would be easier to find a boyfriend. It's like...
Isn't that true? I mean, do you refuse to acknowledge objective reality? Are you one of these idealists, right, who thinks you can somehow change the world and how it works just by wishing really, really hard?
I know that there are fat women... Okay, now you're getting off track. I know that there are fat women who have partners, right? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that
I can deconstruct and reconstruct reality to make it the ideal for me. No, you can't. Not if it's not in line with a biological reality and evolution, an objective reality. Sorry, sweetheart.
Specifically, the men that I have been interested in. Like, we've had discussions. And their problem with me was that I was overweight.
Yeah, it's called biological determinism. Men are programmed. It's biological, it's genetic, not to like overweight women for objective reasons. Like, you're not fertile, you're not healthy. We want to have babies, and we want to have healthy babies, and women that look like you are not healthy, generally speaking. The derp derp!
That's just me. I'm not speaking for the world. I'm not speaking for all women. But then they think that they can speak for the whole world and all women, and they tell me that I'm wrong. And it's like, I lived through this experience. This is the experience of my life. This is my truth. How can you tell me that my truth is wrong?
If it's wrong.
Because it literally happened to me. I don't make things up, dude. I think that anybody who makes things up and lies about things should be fucking executed on the spot. I wish that we weren't allowed to lie. I wish that
You said you love yourself. I really don't believe that.
It's impossible for humans to lie. So, and then it's like I just can't get over it. Like, imagine being a fucking incredibly petite woman, so thin and petite that you can wear little boy
Well, I guess you could, actually. That's even more shocking, though.
jeans. And then you see a huge fat woman that almost weighs twice as much as you, calling yourself fat, and you say, "You're not fat. You don't value yourself. The problem is not that you're overweight. Because you're not overweight. I'm lying to you right to your face. I'm going to look you in the eye and lie to you. You're not overweight." How can you do that? Step one. And I just can't get over it, dude. I just can't get over how humans are. To just look at a fucking person twice as large as you and say, you're not allowed to say you're fat. And then less than a week goes by.
That never happened.
And then you're saying, ha ha ha, I'm considered overweight. And then the fat person saying, whoever told you that you were overweight?
Well, there's different tiers, It's by degrees. Some people are a little overweight. Some people are a lot overweight.
Because it's like, the fat person has had people in the street call me overweight. People that I was asking out, people on the internet, people, every single person except the doctor. Literally everybody except the fucking, not literally, figuratively, hyperbolically. Every single person except the doctor has ever called me overweight. And then they say, Oh, the entity that I'm talking about is a doctor. A doctor called me overweight when I was thinner than this. It's a fucking bullshit. That's a fucking bullshit lie.
You know, not all doctors are the same. They might be telling the truth.
So then my last comment was, oh, well, it's because of doctors like that many more doctors were afraid of telling actual overweight patients that they were overweight. It's like that doctor probably just hated her and her personality, wanted to hurt her, and knew that she had, anorexia, and like just said, ha ha ha, you should lose weight.
What? I find it interesting that she would ascribe these kind of motives to people she's never met. Wow.
And it's like, the funny thing is when you go to the doctor and
I think that's more telling about you and your mindset, that you would graft that kind of thought process onto somebody you don't even know.
weigh you, because I'm so fat, I will literally, I can't use that word this time, I will literally weigh 15 more pounds than I weighed in the morning. Morning, 198. Evening,
198? Come on. Nobody believes you're that light.
215, 213, whatever.
The hell are you stuffing in your face that you weigh 20 pounds more in the evening than you do in the morning? What are you, a gorilla? What are you eating, all leaves and, heavy grasses and such? Like a cow. Huge bulks of green lettuce and such. Oy vey.
Like, that's how much water weight I can hold in my
it's water weight. Ooh, I'm sure.
big fat body, and like from the food that I eat. And it's like, obviously
That I believe, yeah.
not eating more than a pound of food, but like it'll say like I'm 10, 20 pounds more by the end of the day, or 50.
Like a panda, a gorilla, they can eat like 30, 40 pounds of leafy green materials a day.
So like,
She crazy.
what was the whole point of this? The real point of this was I had to get this off my chest, because it's like, now I'm just repeating myself. Imagine we'll get a fucking doll.
Can you imagine how dysfunctional you have to be to have this kind of crash out because somebody said that they're overweight and you don't think they're overweight? No wonder she can't function in real life.
He's fat. He's slothy. He's a sloth. Look. Imagine being a thin woman telling a fat woman that she's not fat, and then saying, "Oh, I'm considered overweight."
This is arrested development, man. At what age did you start using drugs? Because whatever that age is, that's where you're stuck at mentally. Sweetheart.
And then, within the same week,
44-year-old woman playing with dolls.
and it's like,
oh boy, that's enough. Wow. She's a crazy broad. What's unfortunate is I saw pictures of her when she was a kid, and if she had not been such a glutton, she could actually be passably okay looking, not like, very attractive, but at least mid. Maybe a little better with makeup, but now, couple this with her personality. Yoicks. So, there you go. That's Styx Hexenhammer 666, ex-girlfriend, also known as the Tooth Knocker Outer. So that was a disaster. A very funny disaster. Kind of like a clown show. You can watch clown shows occasionally, but you don't want to do it too much. But anyway, let me know what you think of this broad in the comments. We're lacking on Styx Hexenhammer 666 content directly, so we have to get our kicks where we can, right? So this is close enough for now. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, and please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already. Hit that notification bell to be notified of any future content that I create. And, if you'd like to support my continued content creation, please consider a super chat or follow my Patreon or making a Cash App donation directly. You'll find all those links in the description. You can also join my channel as a monthly supporting member by hitting the join button, which you can see below the video. Anyhow, on that note, I'm out of here. I am the Realist Philosopher, and I wish you all a good and pleasant day. Take care. I don't know. Man, I don't know what to make of that. Wow. I mean, Kalashnikova, you weren't wrong. That was, yikes. That was, my camera's a bit off. What's going on with that? Okay. It's a little better. Wow. Let me see. We got any comments? Oh, maybe a few, but not enough. Best Basing Judah. Oh no, that chick. Apparently, that's one less fan you've got, Nikki. Kalashnikova. She was shacking up with sticks. You can tell they're about the same level. Yeah, pretty much. How'd she lose her tooth, says Warm Tips. Apparently, she wasn't able to finish the thought, but I think I can extrapolate out from what she said. Her father's house has lots of crap stacked high because he's a hoarder, apparently. And some tripod fell from was stacked high in a box or something and hit her in the face and knocked her tooth out. So, yeah. Somebody says, Kalashnikova, Stolas. She lost her tooth. Chappy Chap, she treats herself pretty bad if she loves herself that much. Yeah. Yeah, it's very strange. I mean, I think her words clash with her actions, right? Like, I don't care what people say. I care what they do. How could you love yourself and treat yourself that badly? It doesn't make any sense. Chappy Chap. I know tons of potheads. They're nothing like this. Dude, she got BPD. And this is a perfect example of arrested development. If you start using drugs when you were a child, it effectively stunts your mental growth. You are literally, and I use it correctly, a child for the rest of your life, okay? I mean, you're cooked. You're too cooked. Too freaking cooked. I mean, you want to induce the kind of neuroplasticity that would be required to change at her age. Good luck. That's why I always say people don't change. It's generally true. Kalashnikova, she said she has bipolar disorder. I thought she just said she's BPD. I think BPD is, I don't think she was referring to bipolar. Borderline personality disorder. Warm Tips. This is why homeless people shouldn't have access to the internet. I don't understand. Where was she at this point in time getting the money for booze and the devil's lettuce and sodas and meat sticks and nuts and all this freaking gas station crap and car insurance and a phone plan for her phone? Must have been her father. All right. Yeah, just the way she talked about him, I get the sense that he would enable this type of lifestyle. Will Valdez, Mickey, don't lose that denture. Kalashnikova, Clown World is a trip, man. Well, yeah. Yeah. CJ just got back. This beach lost her tooth. Yeah. Kind of like a matching set. He's missing his front left tooth. She's missing her front right tooth. Together, they make a complete set of front teeth. They should have stayed together. They're made for one another, man. CJ, and she's using a water bong. Yeah, it's crazy. If you're not skinny, that means you're fat. It's not a trick question. All right, that's pretty good. Vespasian Judah, she's ridiculous. Being quirky said 2005. I'm good. CJ, visceral fat releases inflammation chemicals and all kinds of other stuff. Yeah, it's not good. I agree. Yeah, I mean, I love the Coke, though. I'm too overweight to fix the damage that's already been done to my body. So I should just stay overweight and continue to degrade my system and make things worse because there's no way to improve them. So I might as well just continue down this path and keep getting heavier. And by the way, 198? Nobody believes that. She sounds like Jeremy Hamblin. Nobody believes his number of 338 pounds. Get out of here. By the way, he claims to have lost like 15. What a joke. CJ says lot lizard money. You really think that's how? You think she was doing like the, yeah, maybe. Randolph Rubin says, what's up, brother? Hey, Randolph, how you doing? I mean, look at that necklace. No, oh, God. I don't know what you just said there. Is that it for the comments? Oh, nuts. I'm a little tired. I did a 5-hour stream this morning covering the Candace Owens, Andrew Wilson dust up. Not a debate. And now this. And then I worked today. And then I did my content editing, posting in the morning as well. I'm beat! I'm beat, baby! Oh, yeah. I'm one tired guy. Ooh, I've dropped some frames. That's not good. Fortunately, it's only 2 seconds worth. So if anybody saw any pixelation, that would have been why. You know, that was painful. 37 minutes and plus my commentary, which is the only interesting part. What I find interesting, she thinks she has talent. But like what? I don't understand people who do this. Like, they say they have talent, but they don't tell you what the talent is. Well, what is your talent? I mean, are you at least self-aware enough to know what your talent is? What does she say? She can sing? She can do voices? I mean, what do you... what do you do? Variety shows, sweetheart? You could be a ventriloquist, maybe. Yeah, there's a lot of money in that. No. She should join a circus. You know, there's her talent. Like the fat woman, right? Didn't circus. I mean, this was before it was acceptable to be obese. Now that it's acceptable, she couldn't make a career out of that. But that was a thing. I remember them. You'd have the circus come through town, right? You'd have the strong man. He was kind of a chunky guy, lifting the fake weights. And you had the clowns. You had the midget, right? Excuse me, dwarf, whatever. And you had the fat lady, right? She'd be sitting there, 300 pounds. Nikki, if only time travel were a thing, you go back 100 years, you could make a living out of being overweight. You just sit there and let people gawk at you for a nickel. Unfortunately, those days are past. The vast majority of Western women are obese. So, yeah, it's not enough novelty in it anymore for you to, you know, make a buck doing that. I wonder what you could do. Minstrel show? I don't know, man. What talents did she name? Said she was good at talking? I mean, is that a talent? Don't you have to say interesting stuff when you talk? I mean, her words, her speech is so banal and uninteresting. I mean, she burps, right? She could burp. And say crass words, speak in a crass manner. Right? She could curse a lot. She's one of these boring people that think she's like super, super talented, super interesting, just like Styx. Why'd they break up? They didn't like what they saw in the other person because it too accurately reflected what they were actually like. I think that was it. This is another reason why dysfunctional people can't have good relationships. Because, like, they attract what they are, but they don't actually like what they are. I mean, despite her protestations to the contrary. And so you look at this other person you're with, oh, this guy's a goofball. He's an idiot. He's a pseudo-intellectual. He thinks he's a genius, but he's really a dummy. Oh, wait a second. That's me. Now I hate him even more. I want to knock his tooth out. That's what's going on here, man. That's what was really going on. That's why she had so much hate and contempt for Styx, because he's just like her. And looking at him, she sees what she's actually like. Uninteresting, boring, pseudo-intellectual goofball. Yeah. See, that's what actual analysis looks like and critical thinking. You don't see that a lot. In your Andrew Wilsons, all these other supposed, geniuses, these great thinkers. Yeah. It's mostly just making reference to their mental Rolodex of talking points. But anyway, vaudeville acts, yeah, precisely Vespasian. Chappy Chap, she got 300K for free, yeah. I love how people are talking about how Andrew Wilson somehow won something. It's like if he, first of all, it wasn't a debate. So I don't know why people are calling that. The person who was the biggest winner was Candace. She got 300K. For what? Chappy Chaps, Candace scored big time. Yeah. Well, it wasn't boring with me giving commentary. So you should watch my commentary. It's, again, go to my channel, click on content, and then click on live. The only thing that makes it interesting is my commentary. Chappy Chap, that was the trash fire of the century. What a waste of 300K. Dude, I made it interesting. You need to go watch. I need the views, man. I need the watch hours. Go watch. It's good stuff. I guarantee you my analysis of that prosecution, what a debate, it was Andrew Wilson prosecuting her, is the best you'll ever see. The best. I pointed out every logical fallacy, every error, every contradiction. Destroyed Mr. Wilson. Yeah, wasn't hard. He made it easy. But yeah, Nima Problema. Hey, Nima, how you doing? I enjoyed it. It just, I enjoy that kind of thing. Chappy Chap, you already watched. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. It was my memory. Remember, my stroke brain is, my memory's not too good. By the way, I wasn't reading chat. I apologize for that. Vespasian Jude, I watched your commentary, not the actual debate. I ended up falling asleep, but not because you're boring. It was my sleep schedule. Yeah, I know. You work third shift. I remember that. I'm amazed I remembered that. Holy crap. Maybe my brain is getting better. I don't know. I can remember that. Took a while, though. Yeah. This broad, she's talking about how she wants to be like some kind of professional YouTube content producer. Sweetheart. I got up this morning, I think 6:30. Went to my computer, opened up my file, which I had loaded up to process the night before so I could start the work immediately. Spent 2 hours on that, editing content. Then I did 5-hour live stream commentary on the debate. That's 7 hours. Then I went and I can only do a half day of work today. And so at that point, I got home. I had worked 11 hours. And now I'm doing this live stream for another 2. That's a 13-hour day. When was the last time that chick worked 13 hours? Never! Give me a break. Vespasian Judah, it's because you love me. Ah, yes. Well, I love all my genuine fans. I won't lie. Wouldn't mind a super chat here and there, though. I know you love me as well. But, I understand the economy's crap. And, if you could share my content, that'd be the best way. That'd be one of the best ways you could really help my channel out. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, share it. That would help. But Space and Judah, when it comes to love, the mind works miracles. Ah, I see. I don't know. Love, it's involuntary attraction to the virtues in others that we recognize in them that match our own. So I don't know if I know you well enough to use the word love, actually, but, well, somewhat. You can get some idea of a person to a certain extent. I don't know. Anyway, Vespasian Judy, yeah, I was surprised to see you streaming that. Yeah, I was surprised they did it. I missed the opening statement for both of them. I shouldn't have done it. I'm so tired right now. The time that I was supposed to spend prepping this live stream, I spent watching that and commenting on that. So that's why I don't have any material tonight. And sorry, Kalashnikova, I know you want, or somebody wanted me to comment on. Oh, it was you, Vespasian, wasn't it? You wanted me to comment on that TJ goofball? No, you seem like a good guy. But in a broad sense, I love my, actual fans. That's not a lie. In a broad, general sense. I do love the back and forth interaction, for sure. But yeah, Vespasian, I couldn't cover that guy. He's so disingenuous and dishonest. And he couldn't even be bothered. It's like, you know, he didn't watch. By the way, it's a review of a review. It's like I review him, and then he reviewed me reviewing him. It's like, dude, give me a break. Not only that, but he didn't even actually. He didn't review my video. He just took like small snippets, like accommodatively speaking, that end up being a few minutes. He left most of it on the cutting room floor. And he didn't do it in real time either. He had to, you know, have lots and lots of off-screen time to Google stuff and wiki stuff. And I could tell by the way he was talking. And he lied a lot. All right. I mean, it was just like, dude, nobody misrepresented you. You know, you're a sophist. That was pretty clear. The way you were talking, you were literally describing solipsism like to a T. I mean, there's different kinds of solipsism, granted, but that's more in regards to what those solipsists will like actually grant. You know, it's a matter of extremes in terms of solipsism. I mean, you know, some people believe that, you know, only the mind exists. You know, like the physical world is some kind of like, you know, projection or something. I mean, there's so many different levels. There's different types of solipsism. You know, like, oh, maybe the objective world exists, but you can't know for sure. You can't prove that objective reality is real. Some people just kind of use it as like a tool or like a starting point. You know, it's like there's different types of solipsism, right? But they all, to a certain extent, question the validity of objective reality as opposed to you know, your own mind and subjective realities, he liked to say again and again and again. So it's like, you know, the guy was obviously talking about solipsism and expressing highly solipsistic views, but then he goes on to say, well, you don't know what the word means. Yeah, I do. And you were literally describing yourself, your views, the way that you view the world in a way that accurately maps onto the various definitions of solipsism to a certain extent. What kind of solipsist is he? Open to debate. Open to debate, but he's definitely a solipsist. We could argue what kind. You know, I mean, methodological, epistemological, metaphysical. I mean, you could argue about which one he actually is, but I mean, the dude's definitely a solipsist. But he's lying. I'm not that. How dare you call me that? Oh, you don't even know what the word means. Murr. And he was obviously just saying that because I had said that to him a lot. Like his reactions were all very reactionary and just being contrary for the sake of being contrary. And it's like, this guy's very dishonest. It's like, there's no point in even just having a discussion with this person or replying because it's just going to be more of the same. Contrarianism just to be contrary. I don't have time for that. It's just total nonsense. It doesn't interest me. If it had been a different type of response, it might have interested me. Like, if he'd have done it in real time. He didn't do it in real time. I don't think he can. I really don't. I don't think he has the mental capacity to do, like, a real-time critique. He's got to take his time and script everything out and do his research and get other people's opinions. And, no. You can't do it in real time. I don't want to talk to you. You don't have the capability. All right, to talk to me. It's just that simple. It's just boring. Also, just too many ad homs and relying too much on ad homs to try and, you know, paint me in a certain light. It just was very dishonest form of argumentation. And it's just, so disingenuous of this guy. I was like, nah, it's boring. Boring me. You're boring me, pal. Very boring guy. I mean, that was my take on his babble anyway. Best based in Judah. I always forget his father was a massive scam artist, opening fake colleges. Really? Is that what the guy did? It's kind of badass. I don't know. I don't know if I would call scammers badass. Best based in Judah. Solipsistic idealism will destroy the world. Yes. And he also started like saying stuff about Rand's people. He denies they exist. I didn't deny anybody exists. Mentally ill people exist the world over. I admit that. mentally ill people, Fruit Loops exist, gay people exist. Yeah, lots of people exist. What's your point? You don't look like Homer Simpson. You look like Trevor Phillips. Everyone knows this. Yeah. I don't care about that. You make fun of me till the cows come home. That don't bother me. Intellectual dishonesty and contrarianism are annoying. It's like such edgy teenager crap. Another human that seems to be stuck in a form of arrested development. I shouldn't even be talking about the guy. It's just content fodder for somebody who is creatively bankrupt, essentially. So let's stop talking about him. Yeah, but I just want to explain to you why I just have no interest. It just doesn't interest me. I mean, Styx interests me. At least Styx is interesting, right? I mean, say what you want about Styx Hexenhammer 666. Pseudo-intellectual, delusional goofball, okay? At least he's interesting. This guy, no. I can't pick and choose what I find interesting. It's either interesting to me or it's not. If it's not, I just can't really force myself to do it. I don't want to force myself. It's somewhat interesting to me. But anyway, guys, I'm going to head out on that note. I know this is short. Most of my podcasts are like 4 hours, but keep in mind, I did a podcast this morning that was over 5 hours long. So if you'd like to see me at my best, and I was pretty good, and my breakdown and critiques of that prosecution that Andrew was, inflicting upon Candace, I think you should watch it. And I am going to post it tomorrow as a standalone video. I'm going to edit out all the breaks and shorten it down a bit because there were a lot of breaks. And so hopefully you'll watch that. And I've got some other content that I can still post from a couple prior live streams. So we're good. We're good. I've got content for the weekend. I'll be back Monday. I've done 4 streams this week. Too many. I'm beat. So give me a break. I'll be back on Monday, same time. Next Friday, I might start scheduling my Friday shows later. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Like midnight New York City time instead of 11 p.m. New York City time, midnight. It's just the Fridays. There's a little more work in the evening, and I'd like to take advantage of an extra hour of work so I can make a little more money. I always have to come home too early on Fridays when I could do a bit more. And so that's kind of, putting a damper on my ability to make a little extra cashola. It all adds up at the end of the month. So next Friday might be at midnight New York City time. I'll let you know. Anyway, I hope to see you again. I'll have the weekend, by the way. I will have a fresh, brand new LOLcow packed show. I know most of you watch and want the LOLcow stuff. I've got Saturday, I got Sunday, I got Monday morning to prep. So I'm going to have a lot of fresh, new, good content. All LOLcow, unless something unforeseen happens, like Candace Owens messages me and thanks me for my debate prep tips, which I don't think is going to happen, that I sent her, or Andrew Wilson contacts me. That's not going to happen. That guy would never debate me in a million years. Not in a million years. He'll debate anybody, but not me. So he won't debate anybody. But anyway, barring anything unforeseen, I'll be back on Monday with more good, wholesome, laughable LOLcows. So I will see you then, guys. Vespasian Judah, have a good night. Midnight is all right. All right. Thank you. I'm glad you approve. Anyhow, I am the realist philosopher, and I wish you all a good and pleasant day.